Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Shades of Reality. I have the lovely Chris Sibia back on the show. How are you doing, Chris? You all right?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
It's been a long time since the last time we sat down.
It's been a minute.
Yeah?
It's
been a minute. Chris is the founder of London's Author United.
London's Finest Distribution.
Finest Distributions, I'm sorry.
The publishing house, yeah.
That's your publishing house, your publishing company. You write books. And you publish books for others.
Yeah.
What inspired you, Chris, to start writing?
Yeah, so the death of my son inspired me. As I was growing up, I was doing certain things and like giggling about it, and I said on reflection, I would like to tell my story, but I wasn't a man that kind of put my life out there like that. So it was always a thought. It was a thought for many years, but when the death of my son happened, and then the police caught up with me for some stuff. I decided, I'm gonna tell my story and hopefully inspire others to not make some of the same mistakes I had made. You get me?
What age was you when that clicked in your head? Would you say it was an age thing, or was it the fact your son?
No. The day after I buried my son, the police took me to jail. And that was kind of my turning point. I had been reading and learning certain things a couple of years prior to that. But
so you've always been on that track?
No. About 5 years before the death of my son, I had started educating myself. Because one of my elders, the only guy I see making legit money at that time in my life, he always encouraged me to read. And he would actually give me books and put like money in the books and wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
So it's only when I came back from Canada, I had an injury I had sustained when I was out there, and I couldn't really move. I was on crutches for like 9 months. So I started reading these books, and it's only then I started finding these pinkies in these books. You get me? I was like,
it's like an incentive.
Definitely an incentive. And
it sounds like it.
He knew, because I used to cut his hair, and he knew that I hadn't read the books because I didn't mention the money. You get me?
Yeah.
So
smart. I like that.
That was kind of, he made me know like reading's important. You get me? Definitely. And then in my son's memory, I decided to try to instill that same value in the youths, because I started reading late in life and reading changed my life. So I understood that if the youths them started reading earlier in life, then they wouldn't follow the same path of what they're keeping up with now. You understand?
Yeah. So you think reading's important? I do. Very
important.
Yeah.
Very important. It totally changes the mindset.
Yeah. I think reading's especially important in this day and age because social media and technology have took over, hasn't it? You say. Even though you can like read online, it's still the computer. So I think the actual book need to start pushing that out more. You know, we come from a certain background where a lot of us didn't read, did we?
Definitely not. I mean, we have to also acknowledge the fact that the school systems are designed to make us fail.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? They're not out here trying to encourage us to aspire to greatness.
Mm-hmm. And bring out our creativity.
Yeah. It's not the job. You get me? Their job in school is to subdue us, teach us how to take instructions,
and follow orders.
Follow orders and stay in the place they want us to stay in.
Mm-hmm. You're product of the environment. I've read that book. That was your first book?
That was my first book.
That was your first book, yeah. Tell us a bit about that book and where you got the inspiration of the product environment. It speaks for itself. Would you say that you was a product of your environment?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you think environment matters?
1,000,000%. My dad was abusive to my mum. He wasn't abusive to me. But my mum had to divorce him. But I had a good relationship with my dad. So when mum and dad divorced, that was a big void left in my life. You understand? Children need their dads. 1,000,000%. So, you know, and then on top of that, my mum kind of treated me a certain way. There was definitely something. So me and my mum didn't have a great relationship as I was growing up.
You think that had something to do with your dad, or do you think that could have been with you as well?
I don't know, because my dad left when I was 8, and from 8, the relationship with my mum wasn't good.
Okay.
Get me? So I don't. That's my earliest memory. You understand? I mean, no, I've got earlier memories, but they were good memories.
Yeah.
You understand? Like my dad teaching me how to ride a bike, taking me to the top of the hill, pushing me down, fell off a few times, get up and go back to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
You get me? So I learned how to ride a bike pretty quickly. Then, like, you know, like in a day, he said, "You're gonna learn how to ride a bike today." You get me? And we weren't going home until I could ride a bike. Get me? And I realized that there ain't no stabilizers on this bike. The bike's too big for me for a start. Yeah, there's no stabilizers. And I'm getting taken to the top of the hill. It's concrete, no grass. Get me? And he's pushing me down until I balance. Get me? I fall off, get back up, go back to the top of the hill. It happens again.
Determination, I love it.
Yeah, so those were the kind of memories I had before my mum and dad divorced. After that, we moved into a different house. My mum, she worked really hard, you know, so she was left before I woke up and come back like about 6 in the evening. So I was just doing what kind of my thing, you know. She always cooked and done all of that stuff, but a lot of moaning.
That comes with it though, isn't it?
A lot of moaning, you get me? So I wanted to be out the house as much as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where my life started.
And then the product, the environment kind of...
Yeah, so me wanting to be at the house as much as I did, like I was rolling with other guys who wanted to be out of their house.
As you do.
And as we do, you know, we just started, you know, kind of rolling together. Started going Trocadero. Well, before that, I was with one of my elders, one of my brethren. He had an older brother who kind of knew everybody on the ends. So we would be at his house a lot of the time, like chilling. I'd sleep over there, and then man was smoking weed. All the crime that happened on the ends, it would all come back to this house. Get me? Like things for sale, this house. Like drugs, this house. Everything, this house. So I'm there and I'm getting to see what's going on. So after a couple of years of that, like I wanted to kind of break out and do my own thing. So I linked up with the next team who, they was on the road as well. Kind of, we was just chilling. One of the guys, he was a barber, so we all used to go there, get our hair cut. And then from there, now it's Trocadero. You go in Trocadero, and from Trocadero, you could end up anywhere in
How
London.
old is you?
This time now, I'm about 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah. Trocadero was the spot back then.
Okay, Trocaderos. Big up Trocaderos.
Got to big up Trocadero. Could end up in Peckham, could end up in Brixton, Junction, Southall, Tudor Rose, Shepherd's Bush, Grove, all over the place. We could end up from Trocadero. Party here, party there, party here, party there.
Party.
And then we don't even, all of that, we travel into these places, and then now we're getting home, we're getting a night bus back to Trafalgar Square, and then night bus from Trafalgar Square back to the end. Get me?
Busy and outside. So that's where, the product, the environment and whatnot. Then you went on to, like your second book, It's on Top.
Yeah, so after I wrote A Product of My Environment and learned everything I needed to learn about it, about writing and publishing, I decided to help other people tell their stories.
That's the Reggie
Stepper,
yeah.
So he was one of my elders, my first brethren with his older brother who I used to chill at. Reggie was a man who used to be there at the yard. So we became friends from then. and he had a colourful life as well. So when it came time for me to now start wanting to write other people's books, I spoke to him first, you get me?
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a little while to convince him to write it. And then he decided that, he was going to tell his story.
Mm.
That's where a product of my environment came in. But it's on top and The Lie That Made Me. I kind of wrote them at the same time. Yeah.
At the same time?
Yeah, I wrote them at the same time.
How did you manage to do that, multitask?
Yeah. I was just taking interviews from both of them, like, consecutively.
Okay, yeah, and you was, yeah.
Yeah. So,
do you enjoy? Would you rather write your own book? Is the process different with writing your own book? And obviously it's different, but what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy hearing another person's story and writing it, or actually writing your own?
No, I enjoy the finished product of a book. I don't all of writing.
The process.
The
you
process
don't like it.
Yeah, the process is long and tiresome and thankless. You get me?
Like that just goes to show it's your purpose. You don't like the process, but you like the outcome.
Yeah, the outcome's in, and I mean, I like the outcome because I know what it's supposed to do. Whether it does what it's supposed to do is another thing. You get me?
Yeah.
But the youths them need to read our stories from our mouths, and there ain't many of us prepared to put down the time and do it. So it's something that I've decided to do. You understand?
Yeah.
And I've met some really interesting people, old school G's, young, all kind of people I've met.
What's been your most enjoyable book writing? Is there a particular book that you've enjoyed writing the most, or you just?
Well, I'm working on some new ones that are some classics, definitely. So I'm writing Metro's book. He's the first sound system, proper sound system out of England. He started off in Nottingham, actually, and then he came to Jamaica, but he was here from about 58.
Okay. Is he over here now?
Yeah, he's still here. He's still alive.
Where is he?
He lives around the corner from me.
Oh, okay. So he's in London now.
Yeah, he's been in London since 58. And his story is really interesting. He brought Bob Marley over here before, but everybody knew Bob Marley.
Who was that? Metro. I've heard of him, yeah.
Metro. He's a legend. Floyd Jarrett. Is
Broadwater Farm.
Yeah, the police killed his mum. That one's getting ready to come.
Did I say that right? Broadwater Farm?
Yeah,
it was 85 riots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very prolific. Yeah. Tottenham.
Yeah. There was a serious riot.
The police got hacked to death.
Yeah. PC Blakelock.
So you're writing the story of the
reason for the Broadwater Farm riots.
And it was his mum who died. So you're getting his story. That's
yeah. It's a powerful story.
Yeah.
One that definitely needs to be told. I'm writing GT Gary Tomlin's book. Another one that's interesting. He's a celebrity chef, but he come up in Leytonstone. He come up from Hackney to Leytonstone, done his bits and bobs on the road. Interesting mystery as well. He's a DJ, very popular DJ. Who else is there? Dennis Rowe, Saxon.
Okay, yeah.
Founder. Get me? But sitting down with D-Rowe is difficult. We talk on the phone all the time, but
getting the time to
is a little bit more difficult.
It's a little bit difficult.
Patrick Roach is another one. He's an elder, another old school G.
So you got a lot going on. Have you read these books already, or you got them in the pipeline?
They're in different processes. You get me? The next one that's coming. Those are some of the ones that people may know of. But there's a lot of other ones that people don't know their stories yet.
Okay.
But also do need to be told.
Exciting.
There's a few more as well. I never remember them all as I'm sitting down talking. But yeah, I got some serious books on the go.
The product environment was very good, and so it's on top.
Yeah.
Read those too. Yeah. So yeah, I'd highly recommend them, guys, especially if you're young young black boy growing up in a certain environment.
Definitely. And The Lie That Made Me.
If
you're on this bad boy thing, The Lie That Made Me is probably the most important.
Mark Tugwell.
Yeah, it's the most important because he made all the mistakes a lot of these young people are making
now. Yeah.
Spent 23 years behind the door. And I mean, as an elder, he hasn't got much to show for his life. His children don't really respect him as they should.
Is that now?
Now. Because he spent too many of those important years behind the door.
And he doesn't know his children. Like in that sense, yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. So you get me, all of this, and these youths, they need to understand that this life what they want to live, like, it leads to nowhere. You understand?
Yeah.
We as a community, black community in England, are 3% of the population, but we represent 38% of the prison population. The setup, and it doesn't make no sense. But we got to be mindful of the music that we're letting these young people listen to.
It's a big problem, isn't it?
The computer games they're playing.
You think that's part of the issue?
Most definitely, all of these things, and my generation, we're actually the last generation that can turn it around.
I agree.
After us, it's a wrap.
Yep, I agree.
It's
80s, isn't it?
It's a destructive, self-fulfilling prophecy. Our community, our race in England is washed out and done for if we don't turn it around.
I agree.
1,000,000%, just like that.
And
you get me? We got.
It's quite scary, isn't it? It's quite worrying and concerning, to be fair.
We've got generals who dislike each other for no other reason than postcodes.
Or
you get me?
Or it's something trivial. It's not important to the bigger picture. It's not about you.
To the bigger picture,
it's not about you.
It means nothing.
Yeah.
And these generals, they gotta publicly make the youths them know this is long.
Yeah. And women as well. It's not just men. Women need to do it as well, Chris.
Women need to do it
You can't speak for us, but I can speak for us.
Yeah.
And I will.
Yeah.
Same way you guys need to come out with that rigmarole. So do we. There's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. We need to know who we are, what we're good at, and get in our positions, not try and outshine each other. Know who you are and what you are good at.
Yeah.
That's why knowing yourself comes into it.
Too many of the Western values.
Too many. It doesn't matter how bad, how good you work and how much work you put into yourselves. We need to help you. And if we are not helping ourselves and we're still in this toxic cycles of competition and throwing each other under the bus, especially in the culture, the media, a lot of us want to see us doing good but not better than each other. And it's not about being better, because once one of us shine, we all can shine.
Yeah.
But because we've got this slave mentality still, it's just, slave master, I want to be the one to be free. I'll have to leave yous behind if it takes me to be free. That's the kind of crabs in the barrel mentality we've got. We need to come out of it, Chris.
Yeah.
Because we're not, the younger generation are watching us.
Yeah, I've actually written a book it's an e-book. It's called Relationships Matter.
Yes. I need to read that.
It's just one. I wrote that one specifically for my daughter. Ladies, have you been looking for love in all the wrong places? Want to know why it didn't work? Or even what to look for in a life partner? My name's Chris Sibia, and I want to tell you about your superpower and how you can use it to attract and keep a good man. I'm writing this book from a dad's perspective because I know exactly what I want my princess to know when she comes of age and begins this complicated thing called relationships. So if you want to know this and much, much more, you can learn all the fundamentals with my groundbreaking new book, Relationships Matter. But it's something that a lot of young people can take stuff from, because a lot of a lot of girls are growing up making the wrong decisions. And with those wrong decisions come life-changing results that they're not really understanding at the time. They think the bad boy is the way forward.
Yeah, a lot of, and I think that comes with us women.
Yeah, because they're following the
elders and social media. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So I kind of make the analogy of Will Smith. I loved Fresh Prince of Bel-Air growing up, but Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, if we think back to, say, the Cosby Show, had the man Bill Cosby, his wife. Bill Cosby was a doctor. The wife was a lawyer. All of the children's in college, doing well in school. No waste man can't come to the yard.
No,
not allowed.
Not allowed.
Yeah. And we had our community aspiring to be lawyers, doctors, and
values.
Yeah. Yeah. So they realized that, yo, listen, these guys, they're actually watching this stuff and taking it in. They need to control the narrative. Here comes Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We got Will Smith, the rude boy. Everyone likes Will Smith. The girls like him. You get me? Like, in school, he's messing about.
Yeah.
Always getting kicked out. Yeah. Always messing about when he's supposed to be studying. Yeah. You got Colton, a little bit awkward. You get me? But he's nice with his books.
Yeah.
None of the man them don't want to be Colton.
But they want to be Will.
They want to be Will. But in real life, what happens with Will in real life is you get thrown out, suspended, expelled. Yeah. After expelled, another school says, wait, he's been expelled. We don't want him here. You get closing of doors. Get me? Now you're going to Prudes. And then you're becoming a criminal. And then you're going to jail.
Like a prison pipeline system thing, isn't it?
In that time, like, you meet the girls who are giggling and laughing when you're getting thrown out. They fancy you. You get me? They're getting tangled up in you in that relationship. You get me? As you get kicked out and they're riding for you. Yeah. When you go jail, they might be pregnant.
Yeah.
It's like now you're in jail for a couple of years. You get me? They're lonely. They want the next bad boy.
It's just toxic cycle.
They're giving themselves for 10 years of bad boys, the best years of their life, to bad boys.
Yeah, and then when they want to settle down.
And then when they want to settle down, they got 2-3 youths. Yeah, maybe 2-3 man. Yeah, and then they want the Colton.
Demanding, and then they say, well, I can't find a good man, and then no man, and it's victimization. It's the world don't like me.
Now they're looking for Colton. But why is Colton going to be interested now? Like, three children,
later.
2 iffy baby fathers that have spent time in jail. Yeah, like now you want to bring me his children, and can you see?
We don't take responsibility, do we?
We're not even thinking that far.
I'm not thinking. What do you think the solution? So you think the solution is accountability? Would you say it's accountability and
first and foremost, definitely accountability. We got to take a deep breath and think about what's going on. A lot of the youths are making these mistakes because they're being raised by their mums.
Yep, on their own, 100%. I agree. Single mothers.
Single mothers cannot raise
100%.
They can't do it on their own.
No, I agree.
They cannot do it on their own.
And it's statistically proven that single mothers are worse. The children come out worse off than a single dad, because single dads tend to want to get into a proper relationship. Single mothers don't get in relationships for their children; they get in relationships for them.
Yeah.
Women tend to find a man to please them, not their children.
And remember,
and that's scientifically proven, guys. I'm just saying, it's statistics.
In the times as well that a woman don't have a man, she wants to treat her son like
her man,
like her man.
And they want to treat their daughters like their friend. We need to change the narrative. We need to break generational curses, break foundational curses, and do better and know better.
Definitely.
What's your plans for the future then? Your future? Are you working on that Broadwater Farm book?
I'm working on getting the books finished. Everything I do is social enterprise. I want to create jobs for our young children where they don't have to go and beg people for jobs. Everything I do. So the books, I've got Making Bags with Books initiative. Young people are able to sell any of my books and make money. Hopefully they'll read them as well. The drink, you want to bust it and have a little taste while we're on air? Come on, this is what I'm talking about. I brought it for you to...
Yeah, it's got that kick.
Yeah.
Crispy, sorrel and ginger. Yeah, I recommend it's nice.
Yeah, with the kick, ginger. So
you do a lot of community work as well, haven't you? You do
everything I do is based on community. So still I'm just pushing forward with the community stuff. My charity is Learning Foundation Development, focused on community, focused on educating young people in all different aspects. I work closely with Gangs Unite, Access UK, Father to Father, Mentivity, all of the charities focused on educating black children. I work closely with in London, Jimmy Asher Foundation, can't forget them. I just want to be part of the change. I want to help to be the foundation our children can build on. I want some of the old school generals, I speak to the old school generals, and they all have similar regrets about the lifestyles they've lived. My age generals, we need to put down the beef, put down silly arguments, and make the youths them see that coming together is the important thing.
And with the ladies as well, we need to let go of the silliness. Because it's not about me, it's not about you, it's not about us, it's about the next generation.
Well, this is it. If we don't do something, as I say, the next generation's finished.
Yeah. So it's down to us, not the government. It's down to us to take accountability and responsibility and put the power back into our communities. Definitely. Put the money back into our communities instead of begging off the government. We need to start. I'm sorry I have to put that out there.
Yeah, we
need to start.
We have to
just like the Asians do it. We need to do it.
This is why the Asians they're not bothered by anything that goes on outside of their community. No. Because they know the importance of group economics. Grouping
and family. Everything's so important. Structure. Family is
they've got it. They've got everything.
Family is, I think, the solution as well.
Yeah.
Family, community back together again. Face-to-face interactions, less of social media technology.
Yeah.
We need to get real, back to reality, back to basics. Not your reality, not my reality. There's only one reality, Chris, isn't there? And it's unbiased, and we need to start living in our truth.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, Chris, thanks for coming on. Again, it was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
I can't wait to read this Broadwater Farm book because it was the year I was born. So it's very... A lot happened in 85, actually. So I'm really looking forward to it. Anything else you'd like to share with the viewers? Or a last final message?
Yeah. My generation, please. We need to look at the bigger picture. Put down the arguments that don't make no sense no more. They might have made sense 20 years ago. Even the fact that man on both sides have dropped over the years, it's regrettable, unfortunate. But for the bigger picture, for our community, for our race in this country,
for the next generation, for the kids,
for the children, we gotta see past everything.
Yeah.
Now, I say it all the time. England and Germany had 2 world wars, But how many man them on the ends is driving German whips? You understand?
Very good point.
they can put down their beef to do business, They can put down their beef when it comes time to stand on the black man's neck, black woman's neck. They can put down their beef, And they've had 2 world wars, hundreds of thousands dead. But today they can stand in unity to do what they need to do to progress. We gotta step it up right now.
We gotta step it up, yeah.
Or the next generation, it's a wrap.
Yeah, and that's on us.
It's on us.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm very I follow the greats. You get me, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you get me, and that's who I look at. If these guys could do all they done in their time, can all do a little bit more.
Yeah, especially in the age of technology. Can use it for good.
A little bit more.
Focus more on the good side of technology and stop using it for bad, because it's there for a reason.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I think God gives man gifts to evolve, and evolution is part of evolving. And I think that all these things that a man can make is gifts, and we're not using them properly, and that is the problem. Technology is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's what we do with things.
Yeah,
a knife isn't bad, a gun isn't bad. It's what we do with the gun and do with the knife, because that same knife can cook the food and feed your family, then it can kill someone.
Yeah.
That same gun can do... Do you understand where I'm coming from? So we need to be mindful, less extreme with our behaviours and our views. And more back to thinking. Back to thinking again. Back to reading and thinking and just being calm.
Yeah.
Stepping out of our head, out of the box that we put ourselves in, and what society puts us in, but we allow it. Would you say a big part of the problem is black men and black women not uniting as well?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
We don't love each other, do we?
A lot of our women
we don't.
Are too masculine.
Yeah, 100%, more than.
It's no good for...
That's to do with being single as well, and having... It's a survival mechanism. It's you remember, the woman is a nurturer. The woman is more community.
Supposed to be.
But the woman is the nurturer and the man looks after her. But because it's not like that anymore, and women have had to take the stand and look after themselves, we make our own money and all that kind of stuff. We've took on too much of the man's masculinity. And we don't need no man. The government can help me, or I can get my own money.
Yeah.
It's the wrong attitude, because your kids are doing without, your kids are suffering, and it's almost like a narcissistic, selfish mentality.
Definitely, they're not taking any consideration into
and
how
I think
the children are growing up.
It's very scary. So a lot of us need to come out of our heads, heal, get therapy, do what you need to do, heal in private, do what you're doing, and then come out. Make sure our own houses are in order, then we can help others, because if we don't help ourselves and make sure we're the best version of ourselves, we're not going to be able to help other people.
Definitely.
So we need to stop the pretending and start really reflecting. Leave social media, forget trying to prove points online, forget trying to be the next best thing, and start trying to be the best mother, the best father, the best whatever who you are to people, and start living in reality.
1,000,000%.
Yeah?
1,000,000%.
Social media is becoming a big problem. It shouldn't be, but it is becoming, because we're allowing it. We're making it a problem because of how we're using it.
Yeah.
Yes! Thank you, Chrissy.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Again, it's always a pleasure. Chrissy's SOR, guys, please try it. It is nice. Genuinely, if it's not nice, you can have a go at me. But it is nice.
I ain't trying to put out nothing that ain't nice.
No, it is nice. Yep. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for having me.